I don't see the YouTube panel. If anybody is in the stream right now, give me just a moment. I don't see your chat at the moment. I gotta figure out how to pull that up.
Look out for trippers.
I'm gonna throw down my crewmate here so it go ahead and takes care of that. Hello, Rock. Welcome to the stream. Oh, just let my Vex armor wear off. See, that's what I get for not paying attention.
Tenai, the Void has summoned a new presence and it craves our life support. Destroy these manifestations.
Most of the useful mods, like you mean in the entire game, can it be acquired through spy missions? I mean, no, a lot of the useful mods aren't through spies at all, but there is a lot of very good mods from spy missions. A lot of the dual stat elemental mods, for example. That's stuff like the galvanized mods, that's from Arbitration. Primed mods is from Barrow. Corrupted mods are from the Deimos Dragon Vaults. That's definitely not all from spies. I'm gonna go back to that other room I was in. Where was that room? That's the good question. There we are. I think I'm actually gonna let this run out on purpose so I can recast this.
That's it. You open the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
So that's the thing about this build. You're asking about the low duration. If you pay attention to the Vex armor, you'll see the duration actually goes up as I kill stuff, because I'm using Chroma's Guardian Armor Augment, which makes it so that every time you kill someone, or somebody on your team kills someone, it adds 1 second back to the duration. It also makes it give you a passive heal, so you actually don't have to maintain it as much as you might think. But you can see here now that I'm killing stuff again. It's recharging its own duration. The build that I'm currently using, I actually just got done recording a video on it that I'm going to be uploading tonight at some point. It's a Arcane Battery plus Arcane Surge build. I'm using Arcane Battery. That's why my Chroma has over 1,600, actually over 1,800 energy on my max bar. It's one of the new Arcanes from Jade Shadows, and then Arcane Surge makes me do 30 million damage on a headshot like you just saw with the Lex. Yeah, millions of damage with your secondary. pretty good time, I'll tell you what. And I'm using quick thinking because of the massive amount of armor I have. When I get down to 2 health and they start hurting my energy, I'm still super tanky. It's his newest augment. It's only been around for like a couple months, so it's not too surprising that you may not know about it. See, this is the worst acolyte right here, Silence, because if he gets to me, he will just turn off my abilities. But good thing I just one-shot him. Yep, that's secondary surge for you. Yeah, I'm just playing around with this build here, and this Fisher after I finished doing this video. Figured I might as well crack some more relics and maybe stream a little bit. Say hello to you guys. Shit, as a rank 12, this gameplay still looks wild. Well, I'm glad I can provide some wild experiences for you. I am on Steel Path right now. Let's go ahead and get another crazy high damage shot here. 16 million damage red crit. Look at that. Delicious. 15 million. Yeah, millions, millions, millions. Hello, welcome back, Isnell. Yeah, just another impromptu stream. I just finished recording a video on this Chroma build, and I just figured I would, say hi to you guys and show you a sneak peek, basically, on the next video that's going up. Anybody who's currently in this stream is getting, a little upfront sneak peek at the video that's going to be going live, so first come, first serve. Glad to have you here. Let's see. Quick thinking with that much armor. It's an interesting idea. I never thought of that. Yeah, quick thinking is crazy on Chroma because armor does carry over to it. When quick thinking says that it's 240% efficiency, it means that 1 point of energy is worth 2.4 points of health, and that counts like how strong your actual health is. So with thousands of percents of armor on your health, and energy being worth more than twice what 1 point of health is, it makes your energy insanely tanky. Why do I not see my Vex armor numbers? There we go. Weird visual bug. Is overextended really necessary on Frost? No, not at all. I actually took it off of my Frost. I did mention, if you're referring to the build video that I released on Frost, I actually mentioned in that video that you can absolutely take off some range depending on the maps that you're playing on. Like, for example, in the Cuba Fortress that I showcased, I did not need that much range. I was somewhat showing the fact that even with having much less strength and unnecessary range, that the build was still insane. On my personal Frost, I've actually taken off overextended since that video, and that's what I'm currently running, so you can definitely feel free to take that off. And Rock, you asked, who's my favorite Warframe? Or do I have one? I don't usually like saying I have a favorite Warframe, just because I like to bring whatever is good for the mission, whatever is good for the team that I'm playing with, for example. Like if I'm playing with other people, and there's a good synergy available between Warframes, I like to bring whatever helps that. But if I had to pick a favorite frame, somebody has me at gunpoint, and they're like, what's your favorite Warframe? I would probably say Gyre, honestly. I mean, I love Gyre, especially in Fishers. She's insane. The reason I have 1800 energy magic is because I actually just got done recording a video on this. I am using one of the new arcanes from Jade Shadows. It's called Arcane Battery. It gives you extra energy, up to 1,000 extra energy, based off of how much armor you have. So because of the huge amount of armor that Chroma can give from his Vex armor buff, you're able to instantly get that 1,000 extra energy. And I'm also running Prime Flow still. So that's why I have nearly 2,000 energy. I'm also using Secondary Surge, another one of the new arcanes, so that I can do this. 13 million damage on a headshot. Isn't that fun? Earlier in the mission, I hit 50 million on somebody. Is Banshee top 3 Warframes? Definitely not, unfortunately. Like, if that's what you're asking me. Like, is she one of the top 3 frames in the game? No, she's not even close to being top 3 in the game. Most people would hate Banshee just because of the fact that she's very squishy. Like, I mean, you absolutely have to shield tank on her if you want to take her to a mission like this, for example. There's no way they're going to health tank on Banshee. She has good abilities. Like, Sonar is really good. Sonar is one of the best damage buffs in the game. But overall, she's just not... She's not as streamlined to play as a lot of frames in the ability. Her survivability is not really there. Her damage effects are a little more annoying to use than other frames. Yeah, I wouldn't say top 3. Need to get my Incarnate charge up here. I don't know why my flex isn't going into the Incarnate form. You can see the Zorus is absolutely insane on Chroma. There's 10 million damage with the Zorus throw. Fun fact about Chroma's Vex armor. Exodia Contagion and Glaive Explosions, so like any of the thrown melees like the Zorus, the Glaive, the Halakar, they double dip Vex armor. So if you have a 2000% damage Vex armor bonus, for example, that's applied twice to Glaives and Exodia Contagion. How does Chroma's Vex armor work, by the way? Does it stack or no? I'm not sure what you mean by stack. If you mean, like, if there's multiple Chromas in the game, does it stack? No. Abilities don't... The only ability in the entire game that I know of that stacks is, for some reason, Citrine's Preserving Shell. Otherwise, if you have the same Warframe in the game, only the stronger effect takes place, if that's what you're asking me. Do you own Green Banshee? That's nice. I understand that reference. Would you consider subsuming Gloom instead of Empower, or is Empower really key to the build? So the reason that I used Empower instead of Gloom is partially just because more power strength is funny, and also because I wanted to put out a build that did not use Gloom, Nourish, or Roar. Because people whine when you put out a build that uses one of those 3, because they're popular. So I decided to do a build that uses a unpopular Helminth, and it still makes the good build, and I won't have to deal with comments of people asking me, why am I using Gloom again, or why am I using Nourish again, or why are you using Roar again? So that's really why I did it, to be honest. Somebody said, do a Ureli build. Maybe I should. There's a lot of builds that I still need to do. You guys want to see how much damage just my Sentinel does? So right now I'm at 5,553 kills. So I'm going to stop killing. And I'm going to let just my Sentinel kill stuff. And I suppose my little companion here. I'll go away from him. So look at how much damage just my Sentinel setup does. These Steel Path enemies. It's actually insane. They just get evaporated. Look at that. Absolutely deleted. My Sentinel does more damage than most people do. Now I'm at 5,599 kills, and that's all from my Sentinel.
Well done, Tenai. Your relic is open.
Honestly crazy. I want to see me cover Lavos after the rework. He does have some interesting synergies with, like, the new Blast being a lot better, for example. Definitely agree with you there. Yeah, the Verglass is very good. I want to just stand still and let these guys attack me and hopefully get my health down to 2. So you guys can see what happens when I just start taking energy damage. But even just standing here, it's hard for them to kill me. And my Sentinel does too much damage. Oh, I am taking damage, Megatron. It's just, I have so much damage mitigation that it doesn't matter. Umbral Asmir asks, which pistols benefit the best from Arcane Battery? I assume you mean Arcane, or Secondary Surge, because Arcane Battery is the Warframe Arcane. Secondary Surge is the one that makes them have a damage multiplier based off max energy. Since Secondary Surge makes it so that only the next single shot does extra damage, you want to use weapons like the Lex, for example, the Lex Incarnon, that do a bunch of damage in one shot. Or the Sepulchrum, like David says, is a really good idea. Anything like that that does a ton of really chunky single-hit damage will benefit greatly from Surge setups. Somebody took my gun. Where's my gun? Very rude of them. And Shanka, you asked, is Overframe good to get builds? Honestly, no. I have an Overframe. Obviously, if somebody knows what they're doing, their Overframe can be good. But the problem is that if you aren't familiar with how to build stuff, and then you go to Overframe and you don't know that a build is bad and you copy it, then you're gonna have a bad time. And a lot of the builds on there are really bad. Even some of mine need updating to account for some of the game's changes. But yeah, a lot of the builds on there are just honestly terrible. So I can't say I would highly recommend using them. D Boogie, welcome to the stream. So I'm actually going to have a video going up on this build, since you said you wanted it, so you won't have to wait for that too much longer. That video is either going up late tonight or tomorrow. Late tonight or early tomorrow, I should say. Yeah, Magic, the Tenet Plink's alt-fire would be super good with this secondary surge setup. Again, any kind of secondary that has a lot of single-shot damage potential is what you want to use with that.
Destroy these void-stained enemies.
Goodbye, Thrax. What was that, 24 million damage I just did there? $19 million damage. 14 million damage. Yeah, every shot, millions of damage. Secondary Surge is insane on Chroma. Yeah, Frost would be good with Arcane Battery, thanks to his new passive especially. Since he now gets extra armor based off of the amount of enemies around him that are frozen. You can definitely benefit from Arcane Battery. Yeah, some people on there are good Umbral. Like Ninjase is good. I think that's his name. He seems to be one of the better people on there, for example. There's some good people on there. There's just a lot of crap on there too. Yeah, Joey, if I do stand in the Jade Light, that actually will kill me, because for some reason it's I don't know the exact mechanics of how the Jade Light works, but its damage ramp is apparently insane. Either that or it has some sort of like ability nullification effect, because it's like the only thing that can kill this Chroma build. How am I just not dying, Rock? It's because I have a truly insane amount of armor, and I'm using quick thinking. So when I get down to 2 health, my energy starts to take damage instead of me dying. Yes, Philippine, I am using Guardian Armor Augment for Chroma. That's why when I get kills, the duration of my Vex Armor is going back up, and it also heals me when I get kills. Yeah, however the Jade Light works, so far it's the only thing, basically, that can kill this build. Aside from being nullified, obviously. Like, if violence spawns in and nullifies me and I lose my Vex Armor, then obviously I die, because Vex Armor is the reason why I'm so tanky. In terms of through Vex Armor, the Jade Light has been the only thing that's killed me so far. It's a fun time, I'll tell you what. It's really funny seeing a Sentinel to do this much damage as well. For anybody who wasn't in the stream earlier when I mentioned this, the Sentinel with the Veriglass around me, since I'm playing as Chroma and the Vex Armor is an aura, my Sentinel is also getting the benefit of the thousands of % of weapon damage that I give. So that's one of the reasons why it's evaporating enemies. That's because it has my Vex Armor on it. Get out of here, Acolyte. Okay, there's one of those scary Jade Lights. Don't want to get hit by that. I also have, I mentioned it in the build video, but I didn't show it in this stream, obviously, because I was already in the mission. But I'm using 1 Tau Forged Emerald Shard for Corrosive proc, so I'm 98% armor stripping with the Corrosive on my Glaxion. And then I'm using 4 Tau Forged Azure Health Regen Shards, so I'm regenning 30 health per second. And 30 health per second regen, on top of Guardian's armor regen, with the massive amount of armor that I have from Vex Armor, is insane. And I'm using Hunter Recovery, so when I take health damage, I get energy. And again, energy is also health for me because I'm using Quick Thinking. So it's just a ridiculous feedback loop.
It's as if the void wants us to find this.
Can this go level 9999? No, Isnel. This will not go to level cap, just because the damage ramps up so high at that point that you really can't use almost any health tank builds at that point. You need to use either shield gating or literal invulnerability, playing as Revenant, or like Vajirin dashing, things like that. This will go into the thousands fairly easily, but I don't think it would actually go to level cap. But it would go way farther than most people ever actually go in the game. I can tell you it'll easily do like 5 hours in this mission if I wanted it to. Oh, whoopsie. Lost the Vex Armor. Let's go ahead and not die here. Get that back. A lot easier to get back now that your weapon kills can stack up your Vex Armor. Actually, a little surprised I didn't die there. But that's what happens if you don't pay attention for a moment. I am running a very low duration build, as I said, so even with your kills giving duration back, thanks to the augment, you still need to watch out for that timer and make sure that you're maintaining that. Level cap is tiring, no? If by tiring you mean it takes a long time to get to, it depends on the mission. In survival, getting to level cap takes, you know, forever, like 8 to 10 plus hours, but in disruptions, for example, you can get to level cap in as little as like 3 hours on the high end. Like it's like 2 to 3 hours you can actually be at level cap and disruption because the scaling is a lot higher. So it just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, Void Cascade is also really fast to get to level cap. You pass the level 1000 really fast there. Yeah, you just need to do one of the missions that scales faster. I've done a few level cap runs. I like them. It's a good time, especially in a Fisher, where you get lots of resources, lots of prime parts, lots of steel essence. So I'm trying to keep up with your guys' chat here while I get my Vex armor up. I'm glad this is crazy, Nintendo. That's what I aim to do is craziness. Pull out the Lex again. 47 million damage. Yeah, I just did 47 million damage to that guy with my Lex Incarnate. Oh, that's nutty. Get some headshots here so I can charge that back up. Got a Jade Light coming after me. Throw my crewmate down, because why not? Level cap is shield gate, invulnerable invis. Yeah, or yeah, invis as well, Umbral. That's a good point. Would Frost rework allow it to survive on level cap? No. No, you're not going to have a good time level capping with Frost, because Frost's survivability is primarily from Overguard, from his augment, and that Overguard is going to be immediate. You're going to get one shot. Like, no matter if you get a 10,000 or 200,000 Overguard, it's going to be one shot. So the only way that you would survive is if you were constantly spamming it to get that Overguard gate back, and at that point, you can't do anything. Like, you're not going to be shooting, basically, or you're just going to be constantly casting just to stay alive, so it wouldn't perform very well there. Yeah, if you're shield gating on Frost, you can do it. But again, anybody shield gating can do it because it's shield gating, but that's not typically how most people are. Most people, when they're asking about Frost, these days they're using the Overguard augment to survive. Because outside of level cap, it is very good. Yeah, no, I agree. Again, with shield gating, you can absolutely do it. But I mean, that's the answer to every Warframe. If you shield gate, you can do it. I would love to get the corruption buff again, so I could double my Vex armor. Would be nice. I haven't gotten corrupted in a while. Well, it's not just Lavos that can't do it. I mean, being obviously a Naros and Nidus, you literally can't shield gate. You don't have shields, but outside of people you literally cannot do it on, yeah. I actually have over 1,800 energy cryptid, and it's because of the new Arcane battery, Arcane. I'm using it on a Chroma. It's an Arcane that gives you more energy based on how much armor you have. And because Chroma gives thousands of % of armor, you instantly get that full 1,000 extra energy from the Arcane. So that's where all that's coming from. I actually have a video coming out on it that I'll probably release the video tomorrow morning, because I have I have some things I have to deal with tomorrow, so I think I'll drop that video tomorrow. Whoopsie, lost my... I gotta pay attention to my Vex armor here. Don't want to lose that.
Well done, Tenai.
Goodbye, Acolyte. As you guys can see, this is a very chill setup. Lots of damage, lots of tankiness. Why am I running such low duration? Because I'm using the Guardian Armor augment on Chroma, so that the augment makes it so that when you get kills, it adds 1 second back to the duration, so you actually don't have to recast it as often as you think. If you pay attention to my Vex armor bar in the bottom right, the duration over the icon, you'll see that as I kill stuff, I actually get duration back. So you don't need to use a lot of duration, since the duration is effectively unlimited as long as you keep killing. I do occasionally have to recast, you know, if the enemy density slows down, or if I'm just busy doing something else, or stop killing for a moment, but as you can see, I'm refreshing my duration from kills. Yeah, my damage output is insane because I'm playing as Chroma, so that's it makes sense. I'm also using, like, on my secondary, for example. The reason that damage output is insane is because I have secondary surge on. Like, there you go, I just hit 18 million damage on that guy. 43 million damage on that guy.
Sentient scouts. If they detect you, fighters will soon attack you.
Yeah, it's pretty nice doing, you know, 50 million damage casually with your secondary. Glad you guys are all here to see the sneak peek of tomorrow's video. I believe it does, Batal, because I haven't noticed the stagger at all. Although that's also partially because I'm so tanky that even though this is a energy tanking build, a lot of the time they don't actually get me down to 2 health to start taking energy damage because my health is so tanky. Especially if I pop my second ability and give myself over 1,000 health. Most of the time you won't even have to utilize the energy tanking, it's just that when you do, you're super tanky. And you still won't die. Oh, they've spawned in Isno. I've just been killing them. Oh, there goes my Vex armor. See, that's what I get for looking at chat too much. No, just kidding. It's not your guys' fault. It's all my fault. If I was just chilling here myself solo, I would just be mindlessly killing everything and easily keeping that Vex armor up. If you want to, you can drop Primed Flow on this build for Narrow-Minded and give yourself a lot more duration to give you some more cushion room for the augment to keep your duration high, like, you know, over 30 seconds. I just put on Primed Flow instead of that to min-max the tankiness and to max out that secondary surge bonus, since you need 1,600 energy to get that ×8 multiplier on your secondary. And I just wanted to see how funny that was, honestly. Yeah, we do have the reset coming up soon here.
But outside the corrupted, they are draining your life support, and fast. Eliminate them.
Alright, here comes an Acolyte. Alright, Isnel, here's the Acolyte for you to see. I'll make sure you see it. There's the Acolyte. Now it's gone. That one was for you, buddy. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get out of here. Because speaking of the reset, I actually want to put on my invigorations for the week that I haven't done yet to make sure that I start charging up my override bar. Thank you for the reminder, Umbral. I will definitely have to grab that ephemera. I think I've already grabbed the tier 1 version. Well, that was a nice easy run. 8,000 kills. Not bad. You can never have too much steel essence. Oh. I just got hey kiddoed. Get off my ship. Where are you? I believe one of my frames to be invigorated was Gara. Go ahead and put all these on. Let's see here. What do you want to eat today, Helminth buddy? Does that taste good? What do they even just put on her? Ability duration and heal rate. Ability range and ability efficiency. That's a nice one. Too bad it's on Caliban. And primary damage and reload speed. Interesting. Oh, we have the one Caliban enjoyer in the chat. Then we got one more guy to invigorate here. Hopefully I get better invigorations this coming week. Got about 15 minutes here. Alright, I need some more biotics. There we go. All stabbed up. I will be back in just a moment, everybody. I need to grab myself a snack because I am very hungry.
Operator, I've run diagnostic regressions. All systems nominal. You don't need to thank me.
Alrighty, hello everyone. I'm back. How are the flowers in my Helminth room glowing? That's because every time that you subsume a Warframe, like feed it to Helminth, you get a new flower in your room that matches the color pattern of the Warframe. Do I stream on Twitch too or just here? Right now I'm just streaming on YouTube. Whoops, let me turn my stream dialogue off. There we go. Maybe the bloom setting affects it. Yeah, I'm sure bloom probably does affect it, but like the specific colors of the glow is because I've subsumed a bunch of Warframes. That can't be true. They all have different colors. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Are you talking to the guy who said that his are all white? I think it matches the colors of how you had your Warframe colored when you subsumed it. So if that's true, maybe he made all of his frames white and then subsumed them, so all of his flowers are white. I don't know. Hey, what do you guys think? Should I once reset hits here in 13 minutes, should I do maybe a solo Elite Deep Archimedia run for you guys? Do the weekly? Might be interesting based off which frames I get. Hopefully you can't hear me chewing. I'm over here munching on some delicious dried banana chips. Snack of champions, honestly. Let's take a look at that Caliban invigoration, because why not? I'm missing here. Prime continuity. Put that back on. So I got ability, efficiency, and range on Caliban. It's a great combination. I just wish it was on a different Warframe. Deep Archimedia is much more rewarding than Nestor Cells is now. You get a lot more for your pulses, especially in the Elite Archimedia. You get 5 rewards instead of 2. Better rewards too. Might have to actually try out this Caliban just because of that invigoration. Not really a huge fan of his, but I'm sure he would be a lot more playable with this. Well, I'll just hop into a mission real quick with him. Back around for a sec. So along with the Vosper Balta, if you do 37 out of 37 points, you do get the Vosper, but you also, the first time ever that you do that, you do get a ship cosmetic. One of the Sumdalis, the thing that goes on the front of your ship that you can see in the load screen. But aside from doing that once, I never go for 37. I just do 34 to get all 5 of the regular rewards, and then I bring whatever frame I want, or I bring up one weapon that I want, or I turn off one of the modifiers. It's a much smoother experience to just go for 34 out of 37, and then that way you can take at least one thing that you choose.
Predictable. As expected, Grineer have shut down the environmental systems, sending modified life support capsules. Use these to sustain your environment.
Alright, I gotta remember how to play Caliban here.
To begin harvesting.
fourth ability is definitely a lot better with all this extra range. Say that for sure. Yeah, I would go for 37 once just to get the ship cosmetic, but then after that, just do 34. And don't worry about the Vosper. The amount of Vosper that you get, it's only like, it's like 200, or not 200, no, it's 50, isn't it? I think you get 200 earlier on, then the last one's only like 50 or something like that. You get more than that in like 3 Arcane drops. So, yeah, it's not relevant at all.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
I just realized I'm using the wrong Zorus build. I'm still using the Zorus Chroma build. So I don't have any base damage on. That's not good. Still kills stuff, though. I might actually use him this week thanks to the invigoration. Does make him quite a bit better.
Life support on the way.
Well, we got until reset. 7 minutes until reset, boys. We're almost there.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Suppose I might as well put this Cuba capsule in. Why not?
You have found a Kuba catalyst. Attach it to a life support capsule to begin harvesting Kuba. Modification successful. Collecting Kuba. Caution Tenai. Capsules harvesting Kuba provide minimal life support.
Here comes the Acolyte. Oh, it's violence. How fun. Why did he spawn all the way over there? Huh? Are you hiding, bro? Bro made me lose my harvester. That's crazy. That was his strat all along. He just wanted me to lose the Kuva. That's crazy.
Get ready for a capsule.
They're learning. The AI is too advanced. Like, I may not be able to kill you, but I can make you lose your Kuva.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Got one of the fat boys here. Gonna hop out of here at the 5-minute mark so we can go get ready for the new weeklies to pop up.
Operative is making progress. This will help our cause. When
Check
you're
out what
ready,
my invigorations
go to
are.
extraction.
And then hop into that EDA, I think.
You are running out of time. Consider extraction.
I think I'll go turn in some standing first before reset hits.
You are an instrument. Allow us to improve your efficiency. Tenai separating from simple nexus.
Hello, Captain Sparrow. Nice name. Yeah, I can show you the Zorus build. This build is actually the wrong build right here. Let me switch to the normal build. This is my normal Zorus build. I do have a Riven on. Typically, this Riven would be Corrupt Charge if you don't have a Riven. So this is the build that you would use on this weapon. I'll just leave that up here on the screen for a moment. It is very important to make sure you're using melee influence. Melee influence is the reason why this Zorus build is so insane, because it force procs electric, which triggers influence consistently, and then you can basically kill everyone in a 20-meter radius. It's very good. And if you don't want to use Bane mods, those called Smite mods in this case, because you don't like changing them out based off each faction that you're fighting, just replace this mod with Gladiator Might, and it'll still perform well. You will do a lot more damage with the Bane mod, though.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in
Alright, we got 2 minutes until reset, everyone. You guys want to see the Chroma build I was using earlier? A little sneaky peek. Which build is it? This one. Because I have 2 Chromas. So I'm using 4 Talforged Health Regen shards and 1 Talforged Corrosive shard. And here is the actual build that I was using in that Fisher with the Arcane battery. Have Helminth and Power on. Hunter Adrenaline. The cool thing about Guardian Armor, the fact that it part of what it says is squad kills restore 5% of your health every 3 seconds. That also counts your kills, so whenever you get a kill, you get that health regen. They recently, in a hotfix, made it so that that Guardian Armor augment now properly counts as an ability healing you. So you can trigger... Whoops, I didn't mean to take that off. You can now trigger Archon Intensify, which gives you 30% strength and then another 30% strength if you heal yourself with an ability. So Archon Intensify does give you 60% strength on this Chroma build. Yes, Prime Flow is replaceable, as I said earlier. The reason why I'm using Prime Flow, even though I'm using Arcane Battery, is because, for one, I wanted to hit that 1600 energy mark, because you need 1600 energy to get the full 8 times damage multiplier from Secondary Surge. Also, Prime Flow, the more energy you have, the more health you have, basically. Energy is health on this build, because we're using Quick Thinking. So it makes you tankier, and it makes your Secondary Surge hit that max damage bonus. This is replaceable for Narrow-Minded. If you want to instead use Narrow-Minded, so that you can beef up that duration a ton from 73 to 172%, and then your Vex Armor will last way longer, over 40 seconds. It does make it a lot more comfortable to use, and honestly, I would recommend that, because you don't really need the damage bonus. I just wanted to show it in the stream and in the video, because, let's be honest, it's funny how much damage you can do. So typically I would probably actually use Narrow-Minded, just to make it, like I said, much more comfortable maintaining that Vex Armor duration. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's the Lex build that I was using. Let me find the one that I... There we go. This is the one that I was using with Chroma. Not using any base damage mods, of course. Since you're playing as Chroma, you get all the base damage you need from his Vex Armor. I am using the Secondary Surge. I do have a Riven on, it's crit chance, crit damage, and unfortunately negative reload speed. If you didn't have a Riven, you could of course just put on an Elemental mod, another Fire Rate mod, you could put on a Bane mod, whatever you want to use there. And then the Zorus build that I was using on Chroma was this one here. In fact, I don't even think I was using the right... I would have done even more damage if I was using Smite Orokin in that mission, because I had the wrong one on, so that's funny. But yeah, I was using this build. It's basically... It's essentially... It's the same as the regular build. I just dropped Pressure Point for Gladiator Might, because you don't need base damage when you're playing as Chroma. So it's literally just this build, but with Gladiator Might instead, effectively. So pretty much no difference there. Alright, looks like the reset hit. Let's go take a look at what invigorations I have now. See if we got anything exciting. Ooh, I see a Cora invigoration. Ooh, what do we got here? It's melee damage. We love to see melee damage on Cora. We got a build duration and heal rate on Citrine. That's pretty funny. Heal rate on top of her already existing 25 heal rate, I believe, means that she would regen like 50 health a second. That's pretty funny. And we got secondary damage and parkour velocity on Necros. Definitely going to put that core invigoration on, because big number go burr, like as Isnel says in the chat. Let's see if I need more resources to put that on. Yep, I need more calcs. Let's get some calcs in there. Let's see some erudite. That should be good. Not quite the perfect invigoration. The 1,000 health is completely useless, since I use shield gating to survive on her, but it is pretty funny to get melee damage. Alright, now let's go to the Sanctum and see what this week's Elite Deep Archimedia is. We'll see if it actually loads me into the Sanctum this time, or if it bugs out again, like it does half the time and puts me in the Necrolisk, even though I specifically clicked on the Sanctum. Oh, look at that, I'm in the Sanctum, nice. It's fast travel too. I'm blind to Necroloid here. It says Survival, a Disruption, and an Alchemy. I feel like we've gotten that exact combination multiple times now. And would you look at that? I got Chroma as one of my choices. If that is not divine intervention, I don't know what is. We just got done talking about Chroma, and I get Chroma as a choice. How hilarious. We got Stephalos, Grokata, Tigris for my guns. We got the Grimoire, the Stug, and the Knell. Oh, the Knell's amazing. And the Grimoire's pretty good. That's my secondaries. And then we got the Doorclave, the Jat Kusar, and the Lacera as my melees. What are the limitations this week? We got gear embargo, so no gear, sadly. We got secondary wounds, knife step syndrome, transference distortion. Well, I gotta tell you, boys, I'm thinking that I'm gonna be bringing my Chroma to this. Is what I'm thinking. The question is, what weapon do I want to take? I think I'm probably going to take a free primary. Maybe like the Torrid or the Burstin Prime Incarnon. Something like that. I'll definitely keep the Knell. That's good. Or I could use the Grimoire and buff myself with the Power Strength Tome mod. And then the melee I probably won't use a whole lot, so that doesn't matter. I'll just bring the Doorclave. What are the challenges here? Life Support Tower delivery disabled. Necromex drop it. We got the Vampiric Luminous. And we got Devil's Bargain. All Grusslings are Xmas. Slain enemies with water energy. All enemies have overguard equal. Okay, so finally we get a disruption where it doesn't have the modifier of enemies blow up the tower. That's good. Because that's actually would be really annoying to deal with solo. And then what do we got here? Not too bad, honestly. Let's go ahead and turn all these on, unlock that. We will put on the Knell, the Doorclave, and then whatever primary I want is what I'm thinking. And maybe we'll stick with the Tenet Galaxion. Although for a disruption, Yeah, I think for disruption, the bursting's the way to go, actually. So I can burst down those necromechs. Let's go ahead and do that. I do have a double crit ribbon, just in case you guys want to see that. It's crit chance, crit damage on my bursting. Currently running a corrosive cold build, which I'm going to modify slightly for the purposes of playing as Chroma. Don't really think that I need to use Merciless. You know, it'd be a lot better. Would be Frostbite, because I'm already getting so much base damage from Vex Armor that getting this extra multi-shot and crit damage from Frostbite would be a much more massive damage increase. So we're going to rock that, and that'll be great. For our companion, we will use... Should I just stick with the worm? Maybe I just stick with the worm. Yep. We'll just stick with what I had on there. We'll throw on the Nell that it recommended. Gonna need a different config, though, for that. This is my Eidolon Nell setup. Which one was I using here? We'll use that one. There we go. Yeah, we'll use a... How can I fit this? I really want to fit this build. Dang. Just take off steady hands. That way I can fit on a super beefed up radiation build. Because they are weak to radiation. Don't need any... We'll keep on secondary deadhead, though, for the multiplier. And we'll put on the Doorclave. Which the stats on that don't really matter. I won't be using it. And Chroma, we're using the Chroma setup that we were just using before. Alrighty, I think we are good to go, gents. I'm at 34 out of 37. I'm bringing a free weapon, that's why we're not at 37, so I'm still getting all 5 of the regular rewards. Let's see how this goes. I'm thinking it's going to be easy, gents. That's a really nice invigoration you got, by the way, Isnel, for Chroma. Now, the only problem with this build is the gear embargo. Because that means that I can't drop an energy pad. So getting that initial little burst of energy could be a little dangerous. So you know what we might actually do? Maybe I should use... Maybe I actually should use the Grimoire. Let's go ahead and hop back into the Sanctum. I'm going to switch off of the Nell to the Grimoire, and I'm going to use the Tome mod that gives you energy generation based off the amount of enemies that you hit. And then that way, that first little bit of energy generation that I need to get my Vex armor and whatnot going is taken care of. That is the Zata invocation. And that should take care of that issue entirely. Alright, now we start for real. So I can't go to my operator either, so I can't get the Matter-Eye dash, but that's okay, that's okay. I definitely should have hit my Empower first there. I think we're gonna be alright. Let's summon a Necromech. For anybody that doesn't know, when you're doing this EDA survival, if you summon the necromechs manually and then kill them, each one that you kill like that takes 45 seconds off the mission timer. Need more kills here. Let's keep my Vex armor up. Come on, guys, where you at? We love to see the red crits. Dude, those Luminous, they're trying to mess up my health bar right now. Gotta watch out for those guys. The immortal little dudes that float around there. Alright, come on, let me summon another necromech. Kill this one so I can get some air. Easy. As you can see, that bursting puts in some work. We gotta be a little careful here just because of those Luminous. Probably the most dangerous thing here to me at the moment. There goes that necromech. See if we can kill a Gruzling too. There we go. Extra Lanthorns there. Finish this guy off. Gotta love to see those red crits. There, just lost my Vex armor there, but that's okay. They'll just stack it right back up. Those Luminous really want me dead. There he goes, reducing that mission time again by another 45 seconds. How do you guys in the chat feel about Elite Deep Archimedia? Do you like to do it every week, or do you prefer just doing the Netracells, or what's your preferred weekly rotation for getting your rewards? That's a nice little buff there. Let's summon another guy. There he goes. We've just got about 45 seconds left in this. Yeah, I love doing deep archimedia. You get, typically 2 Nitro Cells just gives you 2 rewards. But if you, come here and use 2 Nitro Cell pulses, you can get 5 rewards. And the rewards are better too. Like, for example, the 5th reward on Deep Archimedia, Elite Deep Archimedia, is a guaranteed either Tau Forge Shard or Legendary Arcane. So it's a much better use of your pulses if you're able to, do the mission, of course. There's one of those crazy Jade Lights coming after me. There we go. There's the first phase done. Oh yeah, EDA is definitely rewarding. Until you get a melee arcane adapter. That is not what we like to see. Definitely don't really need those. Alright, onward to the disruption, I believe, right?
Check your hunt. You're going to be retrieving a supply of key scientific material from tagged arterial conduits. In and out.
Let's make sure I cast that in power first. Once I cast that Vex armor, it'll be a little beefed up. Just get some of that energy I need to cast. There we go. It can be a little dangerous starting off here. Just a wee bit. Getting those first few kills is essential. Actually a little annoying, because right now they don't want to give me any energy, it seems. The only problem with this build on a mission like this, I can't put down energy pads and I can't use my operator, so it does mitigate some of the typical ease of use of this build. I'm just being a little cautious here. As you can see. So now I went down, and since this EDA blocks you from going into your operator, and I'm playing alone, it means that I failed the mission. That's what that means. So we're just going to go ahead and abort, and go back to the Sanctum. But that's okay. I don't mind failing. I'm not going to pretend that I never do. It's good to showcase that this build does have some restrictions in a mission like this, where if you're, locked out of using some of the game's mechanics that you're usually used to being able to have access to, it can cause problems. Obviously, what just occurred would never occur in a regular mission like a Fisher, for example, on the star chart. But EDA can be a little trickier. So we'll go ahead and rethink our approach here.
Yes, Master Entrati's experiments
Let's see.
threats from the murmur. Nay, rip from his teeth all that he has taken and teach him this.
Let's see, let's see. What do I want to take here?
So reward.
Yeah, that transference distortion really is a
For we shall not return until the
annoying one to have.
secured.
Hmm. What are we thinking? Zephyr? Or I could take a free frame and it could be boring and bring Revenant, and I could just use the Tigress that it's giving me, for example, and the Nell. Maybe that's the play. The Nell's probably pretty good. I haven't actually really used the Nell in a regular mission. I mostly just use it for Eidolon, so maybe we'll just bring Revenant with the Tigress. And that way, my free choice is the frame, since I'm bringing all the weapons. Can't remember the last time I actually used the Tigress. Bro, we'll just throw Merciless on there. What mods do we want to use on this? Yeah, the Grokkatar is definitely funny with its fire rate, but it's not exactly a fantastic weapon for EDA, unfortunately. I'll probably be relying on the Nell mostly. I don't even think I have a Doorclave build set up. Perhaps we can see what we can do there as well. It'd be hard to fit all the mods on here that I would actually want to use. That's not bad, actually. Yeah, I can probably work with that. It'd be Viral Slash, then Corrosive for melee exposure. It might be workable. Actually, I don't need to do Viral because I have Nourish on my Revenant. So I should actually use something different. Let's go Radiation, actually, since that's what they're weak to. We could do that. So we will do... this. Yeah, we'll go Radiation. Then it'll be Radiation, Viral, and Corrosive. So that might actually be fairly effective. We'll switch back to the proper Nell build here, except that's right. Since I'm not playing as Chroma, I do need base damage. I do have secondary Deadhead still on, so that should actually be okay. Should be okay with this setup. Let's double check the Tigress here. Let's do Radiation on this as well. So again, that's what they're weak to. We'll do Radiation and Electric, actually, because that's both of their weaknesses. And we have Prime Charge Cell, so that'll be good. So we'll do Incendiary Coat and... Scattering Inferno. Or not Scattering Inferno. Shell Shock, make it Radiation Electric. And then let's... probably Forma this. Yeah, probably Forma. We will include Cleanse the Murmur. And then what can I fit here? We'll just throw on... We will just throw on... You said you're kind of buffering, Droopy Johns? What do you mean buffering there? The video having issues for you? Hopefully that's not the case. Throw an ammo stock, why not? Take us from 2 to 3 shots in the magazine. That's always funny on the Tigress. Alright, boys, I think we have the play here.
Lloyd has time.
Let me make sure that's still 34. Yeah, it's still 34. That's one thing I like about EDAs. To get your max rewards, you have to think about how you can move things around based off the loadout options that they give you. We'll pop Nurse there.
Dropping life support.
Then Mesmer.
Enemy vandalization while I get things under control from this end.
I'm Legendary rank 4 Wizard, so since the amount of capacity that items have scales with your mastery, so if you're mastery rank 30 or higher, when you form or something, you don't lose any capacity. So I have max capacity even when this stuff is rank 0. I don't know if you can even get headshots in these guys. Yeah, nothing even counts as a headshot, does it? That's actually super annoying. Yeah, this ain't cutting it, Chief. Let's try out the door clave. It's perhaps a little better. It'll be a lot better if I had a Tenai mod on there, I'll say that. Don't think it's really going to do anything against this guy, that's for sure. And I really wish... I wonder if the crystal activates the headshot. Infinite ammo in the Nell. Problem is that he won't let me get behind him. I need somebody with a head to trigger this. Kind of like that. Alright, see, that's what I get for not paying attention to my Mesmer. As you can see, we're experiencing skill issues. He said, what's a Tenai mod? It's actually, speaking of the Sanctum in the Wall, the area where we currently are, it's a new kind of melee mod that enhances your heavy attacks. I'll show it to you here. So these are the Tenai mods. They all say enables Tenai as the first thing, and what Tenai is as you're meleeing with your weapon, you'll see a sort of sword symbol pop up on your screen. And if you heavy attack, when you see that Tenai symbol, the heavy attack is faster and it's free. So even if you're not doing a heavy attack build and you're doing like a combo build where you have 12x combo, you can get free heavy attacks off and not lose that 12x combo. And then you also get other buffs based off which mod you use, like for example Dreamer's Wrath makes it so that your critical damage on Tenai attacks is 32% higher. So it's a pretty cool system. I just can't fit a Tenai mod on right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's super cool for melee. I like it quite a bit. I use it on quite a few builds. Just not this one at the moment, unfortunately. And yeah, Clay, I do have Chroma. The only problem with my Chroma build is that it's a bit mitigated by the energy issues here. Still playing around with what to use here to get through the mission effectively. Like I said, it's the interesting thing about EDA is figuring out what combinations to use. Zephyr might be good. That could definitely be an option. The only survivability issue I could think of with Zephyr is most of the gunshots wouldn't hit me, but those Luminous, if those Luminous hit me, those would mess her up pretty bad. What are we thinking here? Choices. The Nell has some issues here. just because of the fact that a lot of the enemies don't have actual heads. So it's a little hard to trigger the infinite ammo buff of the Nell because it requires headshots. Maybe we'll try out Zephyr with the Torrid. Since Zephyr is one of the actual choices, it means that I could take a free weapon. Yeah, we'll try that out. Do I have any shards on her? Not really. And we'll switch to the Grimoire for energy regen. Let's take a look at the Zephyr build here. That's right, I was running a melee build, so let's fix this a little bit. Don't need... Let's juice this up a bit. We'll get rid of Vile Acceleration, and we'll instead run Bane of the Murmur. Or actually, maybe a Radiation mod. Already on here? Where is it? Radiated Reload, yeah. We're on that to get some radiation damage on it. That way we're getting the radiation damage bonus against the Murmur and some Corrosive Armor Strip. And since we got rid of the Fire Rate mod, we'll run Acceleration as the Arcane to get 90% fire rate, and that should be good. Should not be a problem. Don't need Funnel Clouds on this build. That was for a melee build. Let's think here. Yeah, I know Zephyr can boost secondary damage if I were to use the airburst rounds. I'm going to mainly be relying on the Torrid, though, with this attempt. We'll see how it goes. Perhaps we go... Let's see here. That's a Matter Eye. Let's change... Let's change this polarity. Use catalyzing shields. That's what we'll do. And we will use brief respite. IO Polo, yes. Arcane Battery does give you more energy based off of your current armor. So if you're playing as Chroma, for example, the Vex armor will boost that up to that full 1,000 energy bonus. It's actually what I was showcasing earlier. This might work out. Another way that we can boost up the shield gating on this build is by using the Augur mods on the secondary, which I already have on the Grimoire, so that'll add a little bit more shield gating, so that's good. And then I also just won't be hit most of the time by regular bullets, at least thanks to Turbulence. You guys are going to have to give me a sec, though. I'll be back in just a moment. Gotta use the restroom. Alright, I'm back. Let's take a look at these mission modifiers and see if any of them would cause survivability issues for Zephyr. So we do know the Luminous. If they get on top of me, they'll start directly draining health, so her turbulence ability won't protect her from that. On the second enemies, we got the Void Explosions, so we just gotta stay away from them. So this third one here, this one could be a problem. The hazardous goods on the alchemy mission. It says amphors will inflict their associated elemental damage while being carried. The problem with that is that damage is going to get around the turbulence as well, so that one might be interesting. Let's take a look at my Helminth here. I'm not running a Helminth. Let's do a B config build. What I will do. We're gonna beef up this build a little bit, guys. We're gonna go back to the ship here.
I knew we had a shared passion, Hunter.
53-hour affinity booster. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the problems with this week's EDA fire is the transference distortion. Not being able to use an operator, it means that you can't use any of the operator abilities like the Void Dash, Fixer Strength. You can't revive yourself in Last Gasp, which is typically pretty easy even in EDA. Yeah, it definitely makes it harder. So that's why we're playing around with some options right now to see how we can beef the build up to you know, be able to do the mission and still get all 5 of those rewards. First, I need to feed my Helminth here. Let's slap... What am I doing? Let's slap Nourish on over Tailwind, actually. Yeah, well, I'll keep Air Burst for maybe a little bit of CC. Probably won't really need Tailwind in a mission like this. We'll replace that over B. That way we have a little bit of extra energy regen from the Energy Nexus and some viral damage. And then actually another thing I want to do is, do I have... Yeah, let's slap a Tau Forged Emerald on her for better stripping with corrosive procs. And we'll throw on some energy max, because why not? Just because I have the shards right now. One more. Why not? Just to fill out. Don't really need that much energy, but nothing else I really have needs to go on her, so... Let's try this out. You said, what is Arcane Surge? It's a new secondary Arcane. That came from Jade Shadows. It gives your secondary extra damage based off of how much energy you have. Alright, we're at 34 out of 37. We got a new build to try out. We'll see if this one works. I might get one-tapped by the Luminous through my Turbulence. Who knows?
The experiments have boiled over. Dropping life support. Prevent enemy vandalization while I get things under control from this end.
Yeah, see, those Luminous, they are dangerous. I'll summon a Necromech. Not sure. See, there we go. That's exactly what we were discussing. If those Luminous touch Zephyr, it doesn't matter if you have Turbulence up, because they do direct health damage. So that's the problem with that build. That's the one thing that's really tricky about the Zephyr loadout here. All the other damage is pretty much ignored, thanks to Turbulence, but not that direct health damage. Tricky, tricky.
We are alone. We must conquer or we must die. If we fail life itself. Should we succeed?
Be a little better if they gave me some better weapon choices this week. Because, yeah, Zephyr would be so good here if it weren't for that Luminous direct health damage. It ignores shields, it ignores any effect, it just does straight health damage. Even if you're playing as Revenant and you have Mesmer skin on, you actually still take health damage through Mesmer. It doesn't kill you if you have Mesmer on, but it still actually hurts you. Like, that's how much it ignores everything you have on. I think even if you're flying as Zephyr is now, the Luminous still have a little bit of reach off of the ground. So if I was, like, hovering over top of them, they would probably still hit me. I could try that, though. That would mean that I would need to put Tailwind back on, because I just took Tailwind off to use Nourish. So let's try it out. I'll just have to go take Nourish off and then put it back on over top of Air Burst instead. Have to remove the infusion. Then I gotta feed Helminth again. He's so hungry today. So hungry. Is that all he needed? Nope. We'll do it over Air Burst instead on config B. Everybody in the stream right now is probably like, man, I thought this guy was better than this. Based off his videos I've seen. I don't mind showing failures. It's part of being a real player. You know, Warframe YouTubers don't just do everything successfully right away. It's I think it's more exciting to show the process of figuring things out. Let's see here. Let's actually take off Overextended due to the fact that we're using Nourish. We actually do want a little bit more strength. I don't know how much we'll actually need. Tornadoes, even with negative range, is still 20 meters. That's probably fine, honestly. And just to get a little more strength on there, we are going to use... We'll drop Anchored Glide and put on Umbral Intensify. Then put a partially ranked Power Drift in the Exilus instead. And that'll give us a little bit more energy regen. Let's try it out.
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Order seems to...
Yeah, I usually do EDA with my friends, so we combine our Warframe buffs and kind of synergize and plan together, so it's usually a cakewalk. But, you know, I wanted to try it out solo and see what kind of interesting setups we could potentially get to work for a solo run. And maybe it won't. That's okay. Can always join up with my friends and we can do that together. But damn if we won't try. Just need to stay away from those dang Luminous.
Mastering Trati's experiments have gone a tad awry. Significant off-gassing of elements harmful to you, but not, alas, the murmur. Please accept life support as I attempt to rectify remotely.
So the only problem with being in the air like this is that I don't get the energy regen from Energy Nexus. And it's also multiplied by Nourish, so I'm missing out on that. It does, of course, if I go this high up in the air, it does, of course, solve the problem with the Luminous being able to hit me. I am going to have to come down for energy, though. That's okay, we'll just stay away from them. That's the plan. Stay away. I'll put some tornadoes down for some extra crit damage. Can't even see who I'm hitting. Hopefully I'm killing the Necromech. He should be taking some damage through those tornadoes. There's a lot of red crits, as you can see. I think that's the Necromech I'm hitting right there. Yep, sure is. So that works. Definitely a good idea staying in the air. Should have thought of that in the first place, just putting Nourish over top of the air burst instead. Imagine how angry these Luminous must be right now. They're like, that's not fair. We can't fly. That's a regular Necromech dead. He just dropped some air over there. That's good. Let's go pick that up real quick. Back up in the air here. Now, as long as there's not any AoE explosion effects, which also bypasses turbulence, I should be okay as long as I keep my turbulence up. The riskiest part of this build is, you know, during that brief little moment where turbulence goes down and I have to recast. If somebody shoots me right then I could die. That's why we have shield gating. Let's go ahead and spawn another Necromech to shave some of that time off. Again, we will put the tornadoes down because that damage bonus is excellent. Well, that's part of the fun, Isnel, is figuring out how to deal with enemies that do such insane damage. That's what we're playing around with right now. There we go, there's another regular Eximus defeated. It's always nice to shave that time off. Are you guys ready for me to get all the way to the third mission and then die because of the amphors? When I carry them, they hurt my health. That's probably what's going to happen. Because I'm pretty sure that's going to do direct health damage as well, so not sure how I'm going to get around that one playing a Zephyr. Sure I repop that. See if I can summon a new guy. Nope, get in here, Pops. Dude, those Luminous almost killed me right there. Passed through them for like 1 second. They just dumped my health down. Those tornadoes are real good for killing those necromechs, I gotta say. I forget if the Luminous are going to be in the next 2 missions as well. Because I think some of the modifiers carry forward, although I think that is the... I think it's only like the 2 variables that carry forward. I think the Luminous are a mission-specific effect that's only on the survival. So after this, we shouldn't have to deal with those anymore. So the only other real issue is going to be the Amphor damage on the 3rd mission, I think. There we go. Get out of here. Make sure I re-pop that turbulence. Are you in there, Necromech? What are you doing? What is he, invulnerable? Shave off these last few seconds here just where I went out there. And there we go. I just need to book it to extraction. And even if I run out of air, it doesn't matter because I already beat the mission. It doesn't fail you. As you can see, I'm still here, so. Once you beat the timer, it doesn't matter if you lose air. There we go. The reason I didn't get 2 rewards there is because I've already finished this once. Does Arcane Battery give Hildren more shields? No, because Arcane Battery gives energy, and that is not converted into shields for Hildren. It'd be pretty tasty if it was.
You're going to be retrieving a supply of key scientific material from tagged arterial conduits. In and out. Up 2.
Very nice. As we can see, no Luminous enemies. What are the modifiers here again? All grossings are Eximus. Slain enemies burst with void energy. So that one's dangerous for Zephyr too, because since that's an AoE explosion, that should also ignore turbulence, which means that if I kill people that I'm too close to, that burst of void energy could kill me through my turbulence. And then all enemies have overguard equal to half their health, so that's not terrible. Basically, I just want to stay away from enemies as much as possible. Put in the keys when I can. Make sure I utilize the tornadoes to help take out the Demolus. Something is hurting my health like crap. That's right, it's the, lose 2 health when moving, jumping pauses the effect, that's right. Oh, if I'm in the air, I think that stops. You're not technically moving when you're floating. The game only counts moving as actually walking on your feet. Dude, that explosion right there, that was dangerous. That's why I gotta make sure I shield gate too. Two guys down. Get back in the air here to stop that health drain from occurring. Panzer Vulpaphyla probably would have been a good companion to bring here. Okay, whatever that void burst thing is right there, those are dangerous. If I'm not careful, those will kill me. I won't lie, chat, I am starving. So there's two things that are gonna happen. I'm either gonna beat this EDA, or I'm gonna fail again. And either way, I'm gonna end the stream at that point because I am so hungry, and the only thing I've eaten today is a little bit of banana chips. But of course we hope for the outcome of beating it. If I could just get the dang keys to spawn. Don't you just love when you do this disruption and they just don't drop keys at all? Isn't that amazing? It's my favorite part of this mission. Is not being able to do it. There we go. That's a nice buff. That life leech and that slash damage. Make me do even more damage to the necromech here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's tasty. Ooh. Well, the problem with the alchemy is that it has the modifier of holding Amp Force does damage to me. So if that does direct health damage, my Zephyr is going to get toasted, because the reason why my Zephyr is surviving is because of turbulence. I have like no health. So anything that does direct health damage, like those Luminous in the first mission, they just completely roast you because they skip my defensive measures, essentially. That's the thing you have to, deal with on EDA, is figuring out how to get around problems that basically turn off parts of your Warframe. Issues that you wouldn't have to deal with in the regular game. End of round one here. Excellent. Now when you're doing a disruption, any disruption out this one, don't kill anybody during this countdown here, because in between rounds, no enemies are able to drop keys. So just keep all the enemies alive, and then when the next round actually starts, then start killing them, because you'll speed up your key gathering a little bit by not wasting those enemies. There we go. Like, since I saved that guy, he dropped me a white key right off the bat. If I'd killed him, he wouldn't have done that during the downtime. Alright, glad to have you here, Sparrow. I'll see you another time. Have a good rest of your day. Or night, rather, at this point, I suppose. Yeah, that guy's trying to arrest me. That's rude. He doesn't like taking damage, huh? Careful, keep my turbulence up. There's 3 more of those guys to go. Easy clap. Gotta get those keys. There we go. Got a blue one. One more key to go, guys. And we're on to the last mission. Oh, watch out for that stuff on the ground, too. That stuff will also mess you up. The, vitriol liquid. That would probably kill my Zephyr, too. If I can kill that Grustling, he'll give me the key guaranteed. Oh, let's get out of that light. No, thank you. Field gating coming in clutch right now. The only thing making me survive those void bursts. Alright, let's go kill this last dude here. There we go. Mission number 2 of 3 done.
Arterial materiel received. Stand by for orders.
Onward to alchemy. Imagine if I was just running to extraction and some random vitriol vial exploded and insta-killed me. The ultimate way to fail the mission. Gonna melee crescendo. Very nice. Well, I need duplicates, not crescendos. I actually have a full crescendo set now. Alright, so again, the modifiers here are hazardous goods, which is the problematic one. Amphors will inflict their associated elemental damage while being carried. That one is the one that might kill me. We'll see. If it does shield damage, maybe I can survive with shield gating, but if that just hits my health directly, I don't know. We'll have to see. And then enemies only take damage when you're near them. Alright, that one's interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Stretch. Crucible marked.
So I gotta be up on top of them to hurt them.
Retrieval of high-quality elemental resources. Prevent enemy sabotage at sea. Go.
What is it? Heat? It's heat and electric for the elements. There's a electric one. It's like maybe they don't do too much damage. Yeah, I know it doesn't say it damages health directly, but I just wasn't, you know, I mean, it doesn't work that way. But I was hoping it didn't. Gotta keep that shield gate up. Almost done with the heat portion of it. Yeah, the heat's done. I'll think it just drop some more electric. That'd be appreciated. Go away, Jade Light. They really don't want to drop any electric, it seems like. Like every other element. Way more often than the one I actually need. It's crazy. There we go. There's a good amount of electric drops. One more. We're onto the heat phase. Just want to jump around during this part, basically. Stay off the ground so I don't take that damage from moving. Shoot the pipes as need be. We are almost there, gents. After this, we just have one rotation left. Let's go ahead and grab whatever buff this is. I'm not really going to use that one. I'm going to make sure I do not let that necromech spawn. Because no, thank you. It's heat electric again. Not much variety in this run, I guess. So close I can taste it. Hopefully I get a Tau Forge Crimson Shard for beating this. I could really use some more of those. Although, couldn't we all?
Love folks who love what they do.
Ooh, don't touch that stuff on the ground. That's one of the main things I'm watching out for, is that vitriol splatter on the ground, because that'll mess me up. So now they're dropping what I need. Very good. Gotta love the tornadoes. Amazing ability. Oh, that's right, the heat's done. We just need the electric now. Oh, here we got plenty of electric. There we go. This is it, gents. Just gotta blow up these vents. And we are getting out of here. Do I think Archon shards are worth putting on Zephyr? Since the tornadoes can proc the elemental damage. That's not a bad idea, actually. Didn't actually think about that. But yeah, technically that should be able to trigger basically all the Archon mods. So that is a consideration. You could absolutely try that out. Yeah. Like Archon Intensify, for example, if you're using like a build that I'm currently using, I'm using Nourish, so I actually care about power strength. A lot of the times you don't care about power strength on Zephyr, but on this build I do. So that would have been something to try out. If you're doing cold damage, you could get the occasional extra orb for the flow. The stretch should be pretty good. If you had electric tornadoes going on, you could get that energy regen from using Archon Stretch, and Stretch actually is a mod that you would likely use on Zephyr. So that's a good idea. Here we are, guys. We are at the end of the EDA. We have successfully done it. Took a few attempts, but we figured it out. Let's see what my final reward is here.
I took the liberty of adjusting the initial process, yes, to prevent a heavy ion strike triggering a nuclear shower.
So we finally get there, because it's 10 miles away. What did I get? Give me a Crimson Tau Force shard. Two Crimson Tau Force shards. Double Crimson Tau Forged. My prayers are answered. That's incredible. Now that is exactly how you end off an EDA there. So I got one regular blue shard and a melee adapter the first time I tried it. And then now I got the Crescendo and two Tau Forged Crimsons to finish it off. That is exactly what I was looking for right there. Absolute W. Alright. Well, I'm glad you guys were all here for that. I know it took me a few attempts, a few failures there while we figure out how to play around with those EDA modifiers. But we finally got it to work. And that was a fun time. We got some good rewards. Got exactly what I was looking for. A couple of Tau Forged Crimmies. It was a fun stream. I'm going to go ahead and end it off here. Nick Childs, don't you dare mention Destiny in this chat. How dare you? Just kidding, just kidding. Warframe is way better, though, just saying. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream off here. I think that's a good place to stop it. Definitely, I need to go grab some food, because I am starving, especially after that sweaty run. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will definitely see you in the next one. I'm going to leave the stream running here for just a second to make sure everybody is caught up on the video and audio. And it's going to be gone in just a sec here.